discussing the way that we get to the rack. Matter the game that you play, I'm just stating the facts. The aim of the game to be caking and making the max. I was 20 with a stack, 19 with a plaque, 18 neck icy with my Kango hat. I told him,
run it back. Let's run the numbers up and run it back. You see us out here getting to the bag. Run the numbers up and run it back. Run it back. Let's run the numbers up and run it back. Oh, where we get the bag.
sass, I've been here from the start. A little snapback, homie, with a plug in his heart. Took these Billy Strum cards and now they rip me apart. Now they run around in circles like them kids in the park. Not afraid of the dark, there ain't no monster inside. I pray to Jesus Christ, homie, they just keep me alive. Why you keep it 53? Cause I've been wrestling with pride. I try to keep it like I'm Texas, got the South on my side. Girl, you know I'm a saint, so why you giving me hell? My uncle back up on the block and now they begging for bail. He always calling me for paper cause he know I'm the trail. Now I'm eating my McDonald's, I was fresh out of jail. Now I'm made it out of chum, at least I know I'm up, boy, thump. Like my neighbor's jumper up a pum pum, boy, I bump. In that Billy Strong, he ain't know he ain't thump. He just grabbed the pump and made it go dumb. Got a pump cause he got no. Homie say tripping cause I got no funds. Homie got a pump cause he got no. Homie say tripping cause I got no funds. Homie got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun.
I'm an airport baby, I'm too fly to count. Counting that cash, yeah, it's too high to count. I'm dealing with a fake, yeah, they too fake to doubt. Acting like they are what they not for their clout. They just sucking my blood, they can love what you count. Flowing like water, three with the smiles on the ops gonna pout. They all in the sewers and south in the clouds. I'ma stay down till it's town, till it's town, till it's town. On the floor till it's cut, bill, cut, bill, cut. With the pen till it's cut,
Got no paper, told him quit the pocket watching jeans, ripping at the seams, holding on some dead foes. Schizophrenic with the bag, listen to the money, nigga praying every day. Glad to say I was broke, tell him battle. Now I got my bands up, 1000 on the bill just to keep the pants up. Only on a real note, I couldn't fake what I've been doing. All my real ones know this nigga riding for his 53, I'm throwing up, they see the chain, I keep it tough. Say she feeling little nigga, try love. Say she love me for my smile, so I'm looking mean as Seen his head squawking, so I'm keeping feathers
Boy,
plucked.
I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump fun. Boy, I got a bump with ain't not fun. Boy, I got a bump fun.
Bottles and believe we back in business. This is highly recommended. This for all of my pushing the limit. Mile high got me over here to hear the flight attendants.
Tonight, it's Madden NFL football. Super Bowl 63. It's the New York Giants taking on the Kansas City Chiefs.
It has been a season full of twists and turns, and it all reaches a crescendo here tonight as EA Sports so proud to welcome you to the marquee event of the NFL calendar, Super Bowl Sunday. just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway in the final game of a busy Sunday. This will be fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. So it'll be a touchback, and that ball will be placed at the 30. Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And not the start he was hoping for there, as he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. And it's intercepted. Inside the 20. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Giants touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick six here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Now for the point after. It's up, it's good, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick six. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Mahomes going to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Now a first carry for their fullback. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. And CD, one of the big stories everybody's been tracking this week, the head coach of this offense, looking to become just the 2nd coach in NFL history to win 5 Super Bowl titles.
And let's face it, the respect is there already. We know he's going to go down as one of the all-time great coaches. But even after all this success, what do we notice most about him? He never takes anything for granted. He's treating this Super Bowl like it's the most important game ever played, because for some of the guys on his team, it will be. And he feels the same way himself. I love his intensity. I love the way he gets his team prepared to play in the big game.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
On 1st down, they stick with Singletary. And they'll get this just to the 47. Gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On the give, this is their fullback. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They're going to look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there. 31 yards. And the Giants will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score. And then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in the end zone and no run back forthcoming, so they will bring it out to the 30-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Now here's Mahomes. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. A run by Pacheco on 2nd down. And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack, because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10 at the 47. Again, it's Pacheco. He's got it to the 43 here.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. Now Mahomes. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Pacheco gets it up the gut, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Looking to throw is Mahomes, and that is incomplete. He really tried to thread that down the seam.
Yeah, he tried to rip that one, didn't he? But a throw with that velocity, necessary when you're trying to hit a quick hitter like that one. Timing execution has to be perfect. Unfortunately for him, that one fell to the ground.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. A good balance attack for that last touchdown drive they had. Now it's time to see if they can do that again.
It really becomes a tale of 2 play callers, doesn't it? The offensive guy, he's in sync. Everything's working pretty well. For the defensive
what's going on the defensive side?
That's a tough one because he's prepped all week as well, and he can't get a bead on exactly what they're doing right now. What he needs is one of his guys just to make a big play and disrupt things.
And Nick Bolton there on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Looking to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him. Felix Anudike-Uzomah in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Now a toss left for Pacheco. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. Throwing now is Mahomes. Pressure comes and down he goes. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's taken it around the 40. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in each zone. You see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now 2nd and 5. They'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A give, Singletary right side. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a first and goal.
They run here with Singletary. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Again, it'll be Singletary. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown from 6 yards away. And the Giants continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
A try here for the extra point. And it's 21-3. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And this one fielded in the end zone. It won't be returned, so it'll come out to the 30. And now here comes Kansas City. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touch. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. What a moment for him, a pick 6 in the Super Bowl. You think about some of the big pick 6s over the history of this huge game. I remember because I was watching with a lot of Colts fans, Tracy Porter picking Peyton Manning to get the Saints' first title.
Yeah, that one pretty much sealed the deal for New Orleans as well. But I got to go back a ways because, you know, unfortunately I'm considerably older. Herb Adderley, the Green Bay Packers, got it all started. The first pick six, Super Bowl II against the Oakland Raiders, and some of the better ones that were out there. You might remember Dwight Smith of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had 2 in one game when they won their Super Tracy Porter already. How about James Harrison to the Steelers? You remember that one? 100 yards right before the half ended? That was a big-time play. But for me, the absolute classic, Willie Brown in slow motion against the Vikings for the Raiders. The grand old man, Willie Brown, 75 yards.
You recall them all, and what a play here. Another pick six in the Super Bowl. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Johnson goes in motion left. Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
To throw, it's Mahomes. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 3 catches for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl. It's a first down.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. Out is their quarterback with this offense to take over once more. He had the touchdown pass on the last drive, his second of this first half, as he'll try again on first down here. Now a carry here for their fullback. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That was Nick Bolton rushing in and burying him behind the line. They need 12 here. It's third down. He'll look to throw. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Mahomes now to throw. That's complete right side to Kmet. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd down, it's Pacheco. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check. 40's mine. 40's a mine. 40's a mine. Run.
They'll look to Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Singletary, they'll go up the middle, and he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the Giants are going to have a 1st and goal. As some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line. Knock it on the door. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Not a lot of headway on that carry, but when you're dealing with a defensive line that can cover up your center, sometimes you got to think about getting out of that play. Not going to be a lot of space when that happens.
Singletary is into the end zone. Touchdown, Giants.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
Slot man moves right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now here's a fake on the jet sweep as they'll go instead up to about the 31. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 58 yards. And the Chiefs are able to cut into that deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Taking it about the 1. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And now out come the Giants. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They go play action here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there for the Giants. 41 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it?
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Devin Singletary, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Giants are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was finished off by a Devin Singletary touchdown run. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This will be fielded in the end zone, but he'll decide against bringing it out, so they'll take over at the 30. The Chiefs going to go back on offense one final time in this first half. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Meanwhile, Mahomes' throw caught by Tony. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. He'll check this one down to Pacheco. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 42. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit and another 1st down. So we've come upon halftime in the big one, the Super Bowl. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line to begin this 3rd quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So the PI decline, and that'll give them a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
A give up the middle to Singletary. 46 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
From the 31, here's a 2nd down and 4. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal. He couldn't quite reach the chalk, but they'll have it at the 1-yard line.
That guy's going to want the football a whole lot more. I'd hate to be the offensive coordinator now because all he's going to say is, how come I'm not touching it more? Did you see me out there moving around, wiggling, and making it happen? Give me the ball, coach.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Giants are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
That time, a 6-play drive. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll set up to throw. Oh, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? it hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. A good return there, 17 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And New York set to take the field. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Dancing to his left. And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll try and run with their fullback. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. On the handoff, it's Singletary. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And the Giants are going to be set up with a 1st and goal as they get the conversion there on 3rd and inches.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
2nd and 2. And he's got it. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential. But when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Taking on the midfield logo. There's the stiff arm. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And New York set to take the field. A big mistake last time they were on the field, tossing that interception inside the red zone and really taking away what had been a pretty successful drive up to that point.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any question about it. As they head out on the field for this drive, that whole offensive unit is just thinking redemption. You know, they moved it really well, didn't pay it off. This time, they want to make sure that ball ends up in the end zone, and they're the ones possessing it.
3rd quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. That's complete right around the 8. Touchdown, Giants. From 13 yards out. And the Giants are pouring it on. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bullying his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. This one fielded in the end zone. He'll opt not to bring it out. A touchback, and they'll begin at the 30-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run out of the gun with Pacheco. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 47 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. Mahomes now on first down. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
2nd and 11 at the 41. Back to throw. That's complete. Left side to Worthy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's up now to 80 yards receiving in the ball game, and he's got a first down. Here's Mahomes to throw. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down. Headed straight, it's Pacheco. And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now back to throw. That is caught. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. 1 to go. Watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. He'll drop this off to Pacheco. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So roughing the passer, and they get the safety there.
And this is one I think where the safeties usually got to come a long way. So sometimes it's tough for them to slow down that momentum. That's going to draw the flag more times than not.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Here's Pacheco once again. And this Giants defense getting off the ball quickly. They stop him behind the line again. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And they have just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Back-to-back running plays, putting them in negative territory. What can they do coming up on 3rd and 15? Now the first carry here for their running back. So no gain on the play. They'll decline the penalty to not give them the down back.
And were you thinking to yourself that maybe they would take the yardage there?
Yeah,
because I definitely was. But as you noted, maybe they're just looking at the downs chart and saying, okay, we're comfortable where we are.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Steps away to his left. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Well, yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. He'll drop to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 31-yard line. That's good for 28 yards. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, touchdown! A great effort there. His second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Giants continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the fourth. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point forthcoming. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the fourth. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
And that's his 3rd sack, and that ties a Super Bowl record. Makes me think of my old college teammate, Reggie White. He had 3 with the Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 31. Darnell Dockett of Arizona, Super Bowl 43. And Coney Ealy, 3 sacks for the Panthers against Denver in Super Bowl 50.
All those sacks, they've only been an official record since Super Bowl 17. I know it's believed that L.C. Greenwood unofficially had 4 way back in Super Bowl 10.
Wearing those golden high tops as well.
Yeah, that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Here's Johnson with a reception. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. Here's the Chiefs punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. This is fielded at the 27. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The New York set to take the field. Well, CD, you and I do a lot of games together, but it is pretty rare that we do a game of this margin. I mean, this has just been total domination from start until now, and I don't think they're going to take their foot off the gas at this point.
Do you think that on the sideline, some jokester said to one of his teammates, maybe a few of them, hey, we're up 50. Why not go for 100? You think maybe that line was uttered on the sideline? I can't believe what we're seeing here. An NFL game this lopsided.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. And 22 more yards there and another first down. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. On the give, this is Singletary. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Second down and 6 now. They'll set up a throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, first and 10. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Now here's Mahomes. He'll get this complete to Worthy. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down. Throwing now is Mahomes. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 more there and another first down. Now this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
And again, it's Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's George. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 36. Now Mahomes. There's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnson. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The kick by Lutz is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the defense able to force the interception, and the offense working their way into field goal range and able to get 3 out of it.
Yeah, and give them credit for that. They took the ball, maneuvered it downfield, and while they couldn't get exactly what they wanted, which was a touchdown, they did get 3 points out of it, so they paid off what the defense gave them. Both sides will be thrilled with that.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake, because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Singletary again, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Michael Dana in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. They're going to look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
And this has been the story all night long. They just came out firing and have not backed off, even with the big 4th quarter lead. Here's another completion for big yardage.
Well, they've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Usually the big fella's a blocker, a lead back, but he gets the ball on 1st down. What a surprise for everyone. And as a former safety, if he breaks into the secondary and you see him coming, you just know that's a whole lot of man you've got to deal with now.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. They will run with Singletary, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. On the give, this is their fullback. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And the New York Football Giants are the toast of the National Football League. They are the Super Bowl champs. For the victors getting to hoist that Lombardi trophy, you know, we've talked to guys that have done it, and they say there's no better feeling in sports.
I don't know how there can be. The journey to get to this game is incredible. And then to finally break through and win it when all eyes are on this game alone because there's nothing else going on, that's just got to be absolutely amazing. The task, incredible. But the accomplishment, forever.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.